Welcome to Black Enterprises Profiles of Principal Entrepreneurship series presented by Koch Industries. We focus on entrepreneurs who are striving to have lasting impact on their communities, driving innovation and taking risks. I'm Lydia Blanco, Digital Community Specialist, and we are in Oakland, California at the Pilot Lee headquarters with the founder and CEO of the company, James Norman. James, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So in your own words, tell me who you are.
I don't know, I'm a guy who's always wanted to build things. That's all I've ever done. Whether it was on purpose or it was like just by chance. I've always been put into different positions to do different things that were like creating new products or selling products.
Yes. You always knew how to pivot, how to get customer feedback, and be entrepreneurial.
I can tell you that my ability to do it is definitely based on my mom. You know, so like if you ask her, she'll be like, oh, I gave him like ignorant amount of confidence. But that's really what it boils down to, because when I'm doing stuff like this, one, I feel like it's my purpose in life.
What are some of the business lessons that you've learned?
And you have to realize like the skill sets you have, and then what do you need that's complementary to you, so that when you bring people around, one, your expectations are set properly. Then you have to like make sure you put them in a track where they can succeed. Don't have them doing something that you think they should do that they have no background in, and you think they can work hard enough to do it. It doesn't work for 90% of people. And then like make sure you're like being honest in communication, because like, you know, if you hold things back or, you know, like you let things bubble up, then it just goes all bad.
Yeah.
So like to be a good CEO, you have to communicate properly, but you also got to hire properly. Every time I hire someone, I want them to look different than the other people on the team. Like, I don't care if that's like gender, like, you know, cultural background, regional background, whatever it is, but something different, you know?
That's really good information.
Yes, we already have built one of the most diverse teams, but like, we're gonna continue doing that. That's an advantage for us. We're in the space of cultural insights, essentially.
What's the story behind Pilot Lee, though?
UB was the first real video company. Went through that cycle, got in the program out here that transitioned me out here. And then once we got like an acquisition offer for UB, I started GroupFlix, which was gonna be the first a la carte TV service. So the way you like buy episodes of like premium shows, like at the time, A Walking Dead, A Mad Men, Game of Thrones, you go on like iTunes or Amazon, you pay like your $2.99 episode or whatever, and that was like the easiest way to do that. Because at the time there was no HBO Go or anything like that.
Right.
So I was like, okay, let's manipulate that window, which is called the electronic sell-through window, and let's create a package of shows. So you pay monthly for the shows you want in the package. That was it. So you could have your Hulu, have your Netflix, and you could have GroupFlix.
Okay.
That round out your entire need for all your content, right? Because you can't watch more than like so many shows a month. And then we were like, okay, we'll do this legally. We need to get the contracts from the studios for all the content. So these investors in Silicon Valley had told me like, okay, if you get the contracts, then I'm gonna fund the company. Unfortunately, that was not true. So I showed up with the contracts, the customers, the team, everything, and there was no funding to be had. And there was no way I was gonna like, I had already gone through a startup for 5 years. I wasn't about to leverage everything I have to go do that. Because I felt like no one else would have had to do that, so why would I?
Okay.
I was thinking about what can we do with this platform, even if, you know, we don't do a la carte TV. So I went back to the studios too, and was like, hey, how do you guys get your data? Like, how do you understand your audience? And they told me, oh, in Vegas, we have a thing where we get people off the show floor at the MGM and put them in a room, and then they turn a dial. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So I was figured like, why can't we just do this online? And they were like, okay, well, if you come up with something, we'll probably give it a look. So I started studying with people in the space who invented the original like processes, like at Nielsen, ASI and stuff. We studied with these people. And after like 9 months, I built a prototype and we started making money. Like we started testing branded content for Home Depot and stuff. And that wasn't even my original thing. The original thing was pilots.
Yes.
Hence why it was called Pilot Lee.
It seems like in the latter years you moved from automotive a little bit, even though you still have a great interest and are active in that in your spare time. I love the word cultural insights, but you transitioned to streaming video platforms.
Yeah, early on.
What was that transition like? Why did you decide to make that decision?
The cars ended up pushing us to LA. LA ended up with us being involved in different movies. Like we were on the set, I think it was like Fast and Furious 4. We were providing cars for that movie. And just like seeing how it operated, like a lot of the ways Hollywood operated was reminding me of automotive. So like they were both businesses with like these different sections of people that never really communicate with each other, but they come together to build one product. The people who came up with some of these shows, like they don't actually touch the customer. The car dealer does,
Yes.
and the cable company does. So these are similar things, and there's similar problems in both flows. I just started like getting really interested into the television space, and for whatever reason, I think it was probably the recession, money started getting more tight, and I was just like, cable's not worth it, cable's terrible.
Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna cancel my cable and rebuild the cable TV. Like that's kind of how it came about.
Wow.
So that's how we made that transition, and I just started trying to like build a team, and so I started looking for a CTO and an engineer, But that's how we transitioned into streaming video.
What is the technology that fuels Pilotly?
The first level of it is like there's no other like full service professional research platform. Like in the end, if you have a piece of content and you want to get the audience, field the study, capture all types of data, not just question responses or interactions during the video or facial response, you want to do that all in one place and then process all the information together to like maximize the insights you get out of it. This is the only place where that happens.
What advice do you have for young entrepreneurs as they lead to serve with integrity and be a resource to their communities and, innovate?
And so I always tell people you kind of got to focus on yourself first. Like get yourself in the place where like you feel like you're moving towards your vision, so you feel really positive about what you're doing. And along the way, always be like open to conversation and disseminating information that you're capturing to keep moving towards your goal. So you have to get to that point where you understand like I'm on the right path for me, and this is the precise value I can provide to people around me, and you start providing that like in spades because it comes back to you.